Well, Scott Parker made a change. Leeds fans are saying, why can't Farker recognise that? Is a formation change now needed, especially away from home? Welcome back to Where Whites Walk. It's 20 minutes of Leeds United chat, where we review all Leeds United's games in this Premier League season 25-26. Jacob's back with us. We're also talking about one of the questions that's come up on Twitter quite a lot following that Burnley loss. What exactly does Aaronson offer this team? And is that too harsh a question? We're talking about chairman, and we're also running the A to Z of Leeds United. If you've been following this, we're up to letter C. And who or what would you put in for the history book of Leeds United? AI has suggested this fella. I'll get some more thoughts from Jacob of that at the end of the video. Right, Jacob's fresh back from Turf Moor. Are you as frustrated as social media is, or can you see that? Look, you are gonna have to lose some games, especially to opponents that just make it very, very difficult to have a shot.
Yeah, difficult place to go always, and our record there hasn't been the best over recent years. I think it's more frustrating the way that we lost the game, the amount of chances we had, and the way that Burnley won it. Credit to them, their second goal was absolutely superb. But you're kind of just calling out for one of our players to do that. Calvert-Lewin again, he's gone completely missing, to be honest. He's just kind of thinking, where is that goal going to come from? If we don't have the class to score goals like Burnley did, it's just, can't see where the points are going to come from. Frustrating again.
Yeah, and we are sounding like a broken record, aren't we? Every single week, it's coming back to the decision of not buying a decent striker. Andrew says the result is 100% on Farke. I don't know if you agree, Jacob, but he's known for weeks that we don't have any attacking options. Then why hasn't he worked on a new system and gone to Burnley to make sure we don't just lose the game? How hard is it to change to a 5-3-2 and play with Bogle and Gabby as wing backs, and a few others pointing that out as well? Do they have a point?
I actually don't think it's the formation. You look yesterday, we're missing Okafor, we're still missing Yonto, we're still missing James. I just don't think there was any point in changing to a back five yesterday if that was the case. I think Yakabiol on the bench is a bit unlucky not to be starting the games. He's come in and he only started one game in the EFL Cup. But like I just touched on, I think yesterday was more of a lack of attacking threat kind of. Okafor has been really important for us this season. Didn't really have an out ball yesterday. And you look at, I don't think Jack Harrison or Brenden Aaronson are Premier League starters.
A few a few people have commented on that. Joseph says Parker changes formation to suit today's game. First time this season playing with four at the back, because he knows he can get another one over Farke, who has zero clue and does nothing. I think that's what I'm reading, Jacob. People's frustration is that Scott Parker can adapt for the opponent, and it doesn't seem as if Farke can do that. Was
Yeah,
willing to
that's
do that.
been his case for a while, and it's like, I know it's similar with substitutions and things like that, but I know a lot of people say, oh, he picks his favourites and stuff, and I can kind of see that. You look at, obviously, Aaronson, he started most of the games this season. He sold largely Ramazani and, has replaced him with Jack Harrison. And you look, we're down to bare bones in attack now with injuries to James, Nonto and Okafor. But potentially that is, something to look at, a formation change. And fair play to Parker again. He got it spot on, and they kept another clean sheet at home, and now they're only 1 point behind us.
Yeah, amazing, isn't it? Given that you would say Leeds have had a far better start to the season than Burnley. So this was pointed out as a statistic from Opta. So it was the most crosses by a team in a Premier League game this season, 47, that was put in during it, and the most by Leeds in a game for five years. But of course, if your plan is, as Jacob also points out here, if your plan is to go away to Turf Moor and just putting crosses in the box, then your plan's going to be quite wrong, isn't it? Because we all know what happens at Turf Moor with Burnley. We all know how drilled they are. But yeah, 47 crosses into the box and to come away with 0 goals probably tells you that that is not the way to go away to Turf Moor and play, is it?
Absolutely not. But then again, you look, we've put so many balls in yesterday, but who's getting on the end of them? Where's our 6 foot, star striker? He's not got on the end of any. you can put all the crosses in you like, but if you've not got anybody there to get on the end of them and do like you did at Wolves away, then it's just a complete waste. And we played Burnley last season. It's not like coming up against a new side who've got loads of different players in. They've still got Esteve at the back, people like that, and they're a good defensive side. That's how they set up.
Yeah, the stats are amazing, aren't they? I mean, 68% possession, 19 shots, 4 on target, touches inside the opposition box was, look at that, Burnley 4. Yeah, just incredible. Thomas says, I think our forward line is weaker than what we had last season. We can't keep producing stats like this and losing. It absolutely says everything. Yeah, it's telling, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely agree with him there. You can have all the, touches in the opposition box, all of the shots, but if you can't do what Burnley did yesterday and find the back of the net, 2 moments of quality, then, we're not going to get anywhere. No matter if you win the game 2-0, 5-0, 1-0, it's all about scoring the goals at the end of the day. You can have all the possession and everything, but the main thing at the end of the day is who's won the game, who's taken their chances, and we didn't do that.
Yeah. Let's move on a little bit. Jamie says it's nearly the year 2026, and we're starting Premier League games with Harrison and Aaronson on the wings. We deserve to be. We deserve to be in the Championship. Oh, is that a bit harsh?
Well, going back to what the other tweet said about how our attack, last season was better than this season, I fully agree. But you kind of look, if you add Okafor back in and Nonto or James on that right wing, it doesn't look too bad. But yesterday, yeah, it was just far from ideal for a Premier League side going away to another relegation contender, trying to get 3 points, and you're turning up with that front three. I mean, it's kind of like where's the goal going to come from?
Yeah. Do you feel sorry for Aaronson though? Because if it's Struik last week, it's Aaronson this week. Kieran says Aaronson offered nothing today and has offered nothing all season. Yet he will still start against West Ham, as he got a clause in his contract. Yeah, is he becoming the scapegoat?
Yeah, I think he has been for a while as well. But he started. I mean, not as bad as I thought, to be fair. But yesterday, that chance, Harrison plays him in. He's got the whole goal gaping, and he only manages. Dubravka, it's an easy save at the end of the day. So it's a shame. He's played a lot of games. I know he's one of Farke's favourites, but me, like everybody else, I just don't see what he really offers.
Couple more, although negative, unfortunately. Christopher Smith says, if Bijol isn't better than Struik, then why was he made a key signing and cost us over 15 million? If I was the owners, I'd be fuming. He's going to get us relegated. Perry, Bijol, and Tanaka should have all started. We've lost a crucial game because of it, which is class. Do you agree with those posts?
Absolutely. I think, the loss, you look at a loss against Tottenham and, yeah, they're Big Six side, they're going to do fairly well. I know they lost today, but kind of look at that and think, oh, okay, on to the next one. But surely you change something up. You lose a game and you go to Burnley with basically the same team minus Okafor. And, you've got Tanaka, who was quality last season. Perry's back from injury. You can play him. Things like that. It is just baffling how his team selection works. If we won that game, I don't think anybody would really question it. But there's always going to be question marks if you lose a game like that and you haven't done anything to change it.
Let's look ahead then, shall we? Rather than looking back, we've got a Friday night Elland Road fixture to look forward to. West Ham. We'll look at that in a minute. Then trips to Brighton and to Nottingham Forest before we finish for the next last interruption of an international break. So, out of the 9 points available, Jacob, what's a minimum expectation here? Do you think?
Looking at it, I think first off, West Ham is a must-win. I think going away to Brighton will be really tough. Don't see us getting anything there. Would have said if Andrew was still in charge of Forest, I'd be more confident going there, but who knows who they're going to bring in. New manager bounce, all of that, tough place to go. And then Villa as well, didn't start too well, but won at Spurs today. So be happy with 5, maybe. I just can't see us winning 2 games. I can see us beating West Ham, but
Yeah.
unfortunately, this is the Premier League. There's some really tough trips there. And Villa at home. I could see a win against West Ham, a draw against Villa, and maybe someone at Forest. But I think Brighton will just be a step too far.
Right, let us know. Let us know in the comments how many points you predict we'll pick up. And if you just found this channel, great to have you along board. Please just put a quick subscribe and a quick like as well. We're talking about chairman this week, Jacob. Because down in the EFL, there's a number of clubs which have had struggled with potentially going out of business. You may not care too much that Sheffield Wednesday have been given a winding up order by HMRC this week, but that obviously essentially means that they could be administration and go out of business, all because of one chairman. And we want to pose this to you because Leeds have had the fair share of, I think, people at the top are being a little bit dodgy. We're finally now going to get a football regulator coming in, which is supposedly going to be able to stop this happening. Is that something that you welcome, or is that too much interference in our game?
I can see the reason for it, and I think with a lot of owners now, there's a lot of greed in the game, kind of more caring about money and things like that rather than the actual team and the fans. It's another massive bit. You look at Marinakis at Forest. I mean, it's just outrageous to sack Nuno and bring Ange in, things like this. I think it'll be good if we can get somebody in to kind of prevent a lot of these issues happening. But yeah, luckily for us, I think we've got pretty decent owners and chairmen, I just think it'll hopefully something needs to change.
Yeah, where do you think the Leeds fan base are with the current ownership?
I think pleased with how we kind of bounced back in the Premier League, but I also think transfer wise, been a bit of it was obviously a disappointing window. I think you can't really argue they've got us back into the Premier League, but if you don't stay there, then everybody's going to turn on them again.
Yeah. Generally investment needed, isn't there? Especially up front. Right. Finally, this week then, the A to Z of Leeds continues. We've had in Bielsa. Well, we just about squeezed Bielsa in for B last week. This week, AI is threw up. Charlton, of course. As many older Leeds fans will be quick to state. Who else, though, Jacob, needs a shout out here?
I think Liam Cooper was one that came to mind for me. One of our longest serving captains, won the championship with us under Bielsa. I think he was always a great leader on the pitch, did a lot off the pitch as well for the community and stuff, and scored some memorable goals. So he's mine. I was going to go Crescencio Somerville as well, but obviously first name basis with the C. But he's one that sticks out with I also thinking of Jack Charlton when you pop that picture up. But yeah, Liam Cooper for me, kind of more of a modern day one.
Okay, we'll stick Liam Cooper in there. Let us know in the comments if you think of any others that we've missed between AI and Jacob. Yeah, and we'll be watching, of course, live on Friday, so make it a decent game for us as a neutral, please, if that's okay. And we'll catch you the other side of it next Sunday. All our content drops on a Monday at 6, so put your notifications on. And it's also available as a podcast as well, which you can stream on Spotify as well. Just type in Where Whites Walk, and that should come up for you every single Monday morning. Thank you very much, Jacob. Appreciate your conversations this week. Good luck against West Ham, and we'll see you in 7 days' time. Have a great week, everyone.